So let's talk about the fixes. 3 moves: intellectually liberating, immediately applicable. That's what we are always interested in. So number 1 is document your predictions and reasoning before outcomes arrive, because if the outcome arrives, it will distort and reconstruct. The most powerful antidote to hindsight bias is a written record created in real time before the outcome, is known. Keep a decision journal before major business decision. Write down what you actually believe will happen. What are the genuine uncertainties that you are feeling or you saw? What do you actually know versus what you are assuming? What outcome do you predict? And with what level of confidence, are you entering into this? Then, when the outcome arrives, compare it to your actual recorded prediction. The outcome versus the predictions. This exercise is often deeply humbling and deeply clarifying, because the written record cannot be reconstructed by hindsight bias. It sits there unchanged as honest testimony of what you actually knew, what you actually believed, and what you actually predicted before the answers were revealed. So write down before you know. Read after you find out. Learn from the gap between what you wrote down and what happened. Number 2, conduct genuine pre-outcome uncertainty audits in your team. Before major decisions, explicitly document the genuine uncertainties. What do we not know? What do we know? What could go wrong that we cannot fully predict? What are the legitimate arguments on both sides? Then after the outcome, revisit that uncertainty. Revisit it with the intention to audit it before conducting any post-mortem analysis. This will save the team very serious misunderstanding. This prevents the team from retrospectively now concluding that the outcome was obvious. By forcing everyone to confront their documented uncertainty from before the outcome was known. So we said we didn't know X. We said Y was a genuine risk we couldn't quantify. It was documented, so you people will see it. Given that genuine uncertainty, was our decision process sound? Or was the outcome, whether it's positive, whether it's negative, was the outcome now significantly influenced by factors we correctly identified as unpredictable, or we oversighted, where we blind spotted? Did we have blind spot on some of the things we should have, that should have been clear? This transforms postmortems from blame sessions into genuine learning environment. And genuine learning environments over time, over occurrences, over experiences, they build genuinely superior decision-making capability. Number 3, extend radical grace to yourself and to others for decisions made under genuine uncertainty. This is perhaps one of the most important things you can learn from this. Most personally important application of understanding hindsight bias. When you find yourself saying, I should have known this. The signs were obvious. Why didn't I act? How did I miss this? How on earth? Oh, I was Momo. Stop and ask this question. Were the signs actually obvious at the time? So when you find yourself judging a partner, judging a colleague for an outcome, judging a leader, judging a friend for a decision that went badly, stop and ask this same question. Did they have access to this outcome when they made that decision? Were they girls? Were the warning signals as clear in real time as they appear in hindsight? Almost always, the honest answer restores grace, where hindsight bias had installed judgment. Here's the question that could be the most intellectually honest thing you ask yourself today. How much of what you currently always knew that after the outcome? Did you actually know before the outcome revealed itself? How many of your confident retrospective, how many of them, those retrospective predictions, how many of them were genuinely held with that confidence before the ending was written? This confidence you're claiming now, how many of those predictions were you confidently holding before now? I knew that business would fail. Now I knew it now. I always sensed that relationship was wrong. It was obvious the market was heading that way. How can you not see it, guy? If you are completely honest, were they tentative impressions? Were they perspectives that were uncertain among several? Were there things you knew genuinely that they were that way? Now that you are claiming you knew them before now. What is at stake most times? What is at stake beyond intellectual honesty is that the lessons you should have extracted from your experiences, you won't extract them again. The lessons you would have gotten from what went wrong, you won't get them again because you're claiming you actually knew it. So if hindsight bias convinces you that failed outcomes were always predictable, what else would you learn from them? You will blame judgment that was actually sound based on the reconstruction that you have now. So you say, I knew it before. And you blame the judgment that you made that was sound. Yeah? Now you will lose confidence too on what was actually warranted. You will learn lessons that the experience was not actually teaching you. So you fall off with your friends, you fall off with your partner or fall out with your partner, you blame yourself, you say you knew it before, you won't learn the lessons. So you will miss completely and expensively the real lesson, which is almost never that outcome was obvious. No, that wasn't the real lesson. The real lesson is always that outcome was uncertain, and here is how we can build better systems, better processes, better algorithms, better frameworks, better patterns for navigating genuine uncertainty more effectively next time using this particular methodology. So the ending doesn't make the beginning obvious. Knowing the answer doesn't mean you always knew the answer. Knowing the answer doesn't mean you always knew the answer. Okay? Now, give yourself and the people around you the intellectual honesty and the human grace of being evaluated by what was actually knowable, not by what the outcome made feel inevitable. That grace is what we call strength. That grace is the foundation of genuine learning, genuine relationship, genuine accommodation, genuine leadership, even genuine entrepreneurship. And genuine learning consistently applied is the only reliable path to better outcome next time. This is bias number 39 of our 225 plus bias series. Get it into your head. You didn't always knew it. And that is completely, perfectly, and powerfully human. We are not gods. Always know that there's room for our mistakes. Share this with every leader, every entrepreneur and person in a relationship who has been judging past decisions with the unfair advantage of a future they didn't have access to. A future that was reconstructed after the outcome had been seen. And always ask yourself this question: when was the last time you trained the mind, you fed the mind that makes the money? I want to encourage you to click the link below and join Dr. Cussons' masterclasses and webinars. See you tomorrow.